Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
It's a podcast.
Yay.
We're trying to get Ryan to do something really
But he
energetic and crazy.
This is about as energetic as I get.
Why don't you
That
just
is not true.
apologize now?
I'm sorry.
I've seen you get
Yes.
much more energetic discussing Mega Man.
Well, that's Mega Man. That's different.
And that was also partly due to Shane.
That's not.
Oh yeah, Shane's stupid. He's a hater.
Wow. No, you went all crazy with the Murlocs making that noise all the time.
no,
I love that sound.
Shane, hey, speaking of Shane, was it this podcast that we told people about Shane Watch?
Yeah, and it got over 1,000 users supposedly without him knowing, but he claims he knew on the second day, so I
Yeah.
guess that's not true.
I don't know if he
Guess
knew.
so.
I don't know if he knew. Did he know? Did he
Whoever
really know?
whoever spoiled that, way to go.
Well,
Yeah.
technically it was spoiled on Gaff, and then it got deleted, but I mean, in that span of time, I mean, Shane's always on Gaff.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Bummer.
Shane Watch.
So
he was writing all those posts anyway.
Well, we get the reins were surrendered to him, so if he wants to, he can keep informing people what he's doing.
That's
It's
not
so-
nearly as cool.
It's so much better as a third person, like Shane watching.
It was so much better when I thought
Shane
that.
got a sandwich. Shane
When I
got
thought-
a tuna
Exactly.
sandwich.
I thought it was better when we had to like investigate. Like, what do you have for lunch there? Looks delicious. I don't really care. I just want to know so I can type it out.
See, I think that's a novel kind of internet entertainment. I would tune in to read about various people if it wasn't them talking about themselves.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Someone reporting on their life, like digging through their trash and taking direct quotes from
What would you find in
conversation.
Shane's trash?
A lot of manga.
I don't think Shane has a garbage can. Look at his office.
we should take
I didn't
pictures.
Yeah, that needs photo evidence backup.
Did you guys ever see when he was like in a cube? Did you ever?
Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
he looked like he had like an inch of workspace on any one side.
He had at least 5 Jar Jar Binks toys.
Oh, he has a Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
It looked like he needed an office, and now that he has an office, it looks like he needs another one.
No, now that he has an office, it looks like he needs a flea market.
We should just call this Hate Watch.
So,
You guys.
the host of
love
the show
Shane.
that opened
I
us
know.
up, that's Ryan Scott.
Ryan.
This is
And
Ryan Scott.
I'm
This is our
Still
unnamed PC podcast.
Really?
It's the One-Up
Because-
Mystery Cast. Starring.
We're waiting on sign-offs from the higher ups.
I would just like to point out that this, if we were to continue the trend, that this would be X15.
Okay.
Yeah, when it was called X13.
Welcome to podcast X15.
This is your host Ryan
Engage.
Scott. I'm Anthony Gallegos. To my left
Tina.
is Tina.
Robert Ashley.
Matt Chandernay.
Yay!
So exciting.
And normally Andrew would be putting shit together for us, but now we have Garnet.
Yay, Garnet.
Yay.
Thank you,
Hooray.
Garnet.
If you're wondering what people are eating right now, like everyone is always eating here.
Yeah.
Somebody went on a bubble tea run.
Mm-hmm.
You're
There's
allowed-
also some macadamia nuts. honey
That
glazed.
Garnet gave me.
These are awesome.
Yeah, those are tasty.
One of yours listeners sent these in to me.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
And
So we're
I
just-
just, ate about 5,000
Oh,
of them.
so speaking of food, though,
Yeah.
some user got a hold of Tina and was like, "I want to send you guys candy
Oh, yeah.
and money." And remember how you were like, only in $20 denominations?
You took it seriously.
What, he sent money?
No, he was going to.
No,
He's
he
like,
wants to.
okay, just give me an address so I can send the money and the candy.
and then I wrote back and I told him that we'll only accept gold doubloons in chocolate form. And then he got really nervous and he said he'll give us cacao beans instead.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
he said the gold doubloons were hard to find right now. And I was like, it's Halloween.
Yeah,
How are
the
they hard to
economy
find?
tanked, so everyone's putting their money in gold, man. It's hard to find that stuff. That's too bad, though, that you turned him down on the money. I could really use that.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we should still just.
No, I
start
Oh,
this
God,
on
why do you
t-shirt
have to have it there? Like,
Yeah.
lift it up higher. Seriously, dude. That's
Shuff has this
inappropriate.
T-shirt that someone sent him.
His name is Dean. Dean, I helped. Dean sent me some writing samples, and I told him I'd pass them on, which
Wait.
I did pass on to you today.
Wait, but
So,
I want
chuff it out,
to. Let's
2008.
describe this, Robert. So, what do you see here? You see a
What I see there is a giant anthropomorphic pickle with the face of Howdy Doody and a red baseball cap on that says GFW, and he's eating a hoagie.
I think it's a pizza, actually, but the
no,
perspective.
It has
it's
lettuce
a sandwich.
on it.
Oh, okay.
It has lettuce on it, so it's the irony of a pickle eating a hoagie instead of a hoagie eating a pickle. pickle. And
Where's the lightsaber?
And he has a lightsaber, and it's in a very suggestive place. And right when Anthony was showing us the T-shirt, he had the pickle in a very suggestive place.
He put it on his
where-
crotch.
And then it says on the back.
I was being a little more roundabout than that. On the back, it says "Chuff It Out 2008."
And it says, when I got the piece of paper, it said it was a one-of-a-kind shirt. There's only one of this.
I would have thought that there'd be thousands in production. The main thing, though, is like the fact that it says 2008. It kind of makes it out of date pretty soon.
The only thing that's
You're gonna need a 2009.
the only
Chuff It
other
Out
thing that
shirt.
sucks is that it's an extra large.
Yeah.
So this is like a 90.
Wow, that really
Yeah, it's-
evokes some images
It's
for me.
It's a
You wear
Oh, God.
tighty-whities. Can I
Under
picture
your
you in tighty-whities and
so
that shirt?
so
Let's
I'm
not
gonna
talk
I'm gonna fess up right now.
You do?
I have 5 pairs of tighties, but they're not whiteys. They're all like various colors. The reason I have these is because in high school there was a superhero day, and I wore like some. I wore some black running tights, and then over them I pulled this pair of like green tighties. You know, over the running tights
Right.
to make
Yeah.
me to have the superhero appearance, because you know superheroes
But
always have.
you said colors plural.
Yeah, so but when
Do
I
you
bought
have
when I bought
purple?
them
I wanna
when
know
I
if you
bought
have
them, it came in
purple.
like a pack of 5. And I've never
yeah.
been able to bring myself to just throw them away because that seems so wasteful. So there are times that, you know, like laundry situation gets
Right.
desperate, and the one thing I won't ever double up on is underwear.
Time for the tighty-whities.
So occasionally I wear the tighty.
That's okay.
I don't
That's
need to
okay.
know this.
When I was in middle school,
My roommate calls them manties.
I wore
Oh my god.
when I was in middle school, I wore bikini
You wear them for your
briefs.
roommate?
Nuh-uh.
I did wear bikini briefs because
my
my
God.
my mom thought that was really forward thinking and modern. This was around, I don't know.
What is a bikini briefs?
1989.
It's tighties?
No, they're panties for men, and it was a really inconvenient time to begin wearing them because it was right when you start changing out for gym at 6th grade, and everyone's like, "Nice panties, Ashley," and instead of demanding that my mom buy me regular underwear, I stood by them. I was like, "No, these are cool. You guys just don't know. When you get older, this is what you're going to be wearing." The ladies think they are so sexy, And
Is that what you told people?
Oh yeah.
Do you still wear them?
No.
You know, that does remind me that I did have a tough time finding underwear. Like, I don't know. This was when I was in high school. This is when I was in high school, and like I went out to Macy's or whatever it was to buy some fucking underwear, and all I saw were like Speedo-sized underwear, which apparently were these manties of which you refer.
Yeah.
And boxers, which I didn't wear at the time.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know boxers are the only way. Anyway.
See, what I wear is extra large man's briefs every day.
You just go around looking like you got a load. Sexy.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I swear I don't. Anyways,
Games.
Mr. Scott.
I'm pinning
you hear that, Photoshoppers?
I'm pinning
Oh, God.
boxer briefs on Ryan Scott. That's what I'm picturing.
I'm not getting into this conversation.
Well, I mean, if you've ever seen him with a shirt off, he basically looks like Marky Mark. So I think he's one of the few guys.
Calvin Klein.
Who could sport those. He's just got the rock solid.
That,
Goddamn.
that reminds me of a Photoshop someone did of Dad, and they put his face on a
Dad meaning Jeff Green?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Calvin Klein model. Because it was a serious face. Like, he was pissed off. It was awesome.
He was pissed off that he was a Calvin Klein model.
Nice.
So, what games has anyone been playing that are actually PC games?
Every fucking game. I'm going insane, like playing way too many games.
There's so much
It's-
On
shit out.
PC? Like,
on
since you
on
up-
everything. I'm playing games on my watch.
Did you upgrade
I'm playing like my PSP. I'm playing
upgrade your
everything.
PC finally?
No, I totally screwed up on the processor. I was stupid. I thought all I had to get right was the socket. I don't want to get super into this, but I got the wrong processor and went ahead and installed it. And so I'm hoping that I get all my money back from Newegg, but maybe not. I didn't have it, like the front side bus wasn't compatible, and it was like 45 nanometer instead of 65. My motherboard was
Icky.
like, "Fuck you!" And this sucks. Apparently, like I'll have to go on eBay and find something that fits mine.
Speaking of
I've just been.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was just going to ask Anthony. Did you fix your motherboard?
Yeah,
Do you
but
know?
I replaced my motherboard,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't that, and I don't really want to say what it was, because then it just basically a fresh install Windows fixed it. But
Yeah.
I still feel like it's hard, because, I had to, now I have an extra motherboard just sitting in a box,
So we
which I'm going to donate to Matt Chandernet's
That's
cause.
hard, man. That's hard.
So
Yeah,
we can have
my
another
PC
brief.
upgrading cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm already in hot anticipation of. I bought Far Cry and Fallout, both for the PC, and like, you know, if I bought them for the 360, I could be playing them right now. But no, I'm gonna fucking wait until I got my new awesome rig to go play some games.
Delayed gratification.
Exactly.
Man.
I mean, it's not like there aren't plenty of other games for you to kill your time with right now as it is.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like, you know, walking through the desert with a canteen of water as my only companion.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you, as far as PC games though?
Well, how about PC games, which are also console games, but which I'm playing on a console, such as Fallout 3. I actually have it on my PC too, but I really don't want to sit there and play a long RPG on my PC, like a single player game.
Because you can't like lay in your couch.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm only up for playing multiplayer games or casual games or something really exciting and action oriented on my PC most times, like a first person shooter or something. So
see, I used to feel that way until I got a really nice chair.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's totally doable.
For me, it's mainly that I've got back issues because I'm an old man.
Or because you sit poorly?
No, actually, I have good posture in my home chair. I have a very evil computer chair that makes you sit completely up straight the whole time you work on it. So you can't really relax ever. And so when it's time for me to do my relaxing, I'm usually on the couch.
So then you're right.
So then you have poor posture on the couch.
Yeah.
Bad.
No, I don't have poor posture on the couch because I lay on the couch. And laying is good for my back and good for my heart. And it provides this great place where you put your beer right on top there. It's pretty good.
Ryan, have you actually been playing anything, or has it been all reviews?
I've been playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, are you a zombie?
They stopped that on Monday, unfortunately.
I was a zombie.
What do you mean they stopped it?
You can't become a zombie anymore. Like, you can't get the infection.
They turn off like world events like that. Sometimes just like during Christmas, there's like a Christmas quest, and then like you'll get in there at one point, and then they'll just they'll disappear.
So then Karen doesn't have to worry anymore. She isn't a zombie.
No.
Well, tell me that they ended it by having someone go around blowing everyone's heads off.
Or you had to like wait in line to get the cure. Like that, you actually had to sit there and do it.
You
the cure is
did.
literally someone standing there with a shotgun blowing heads off, just one after another.
People would turn into zombies and they would go kill the NPC that cured you.
Yeah.
So...
And then, like, towards the end, they made it really hard, because at the beginning it could be that a paladin could cure you, like, with one spell, but they made it really hard to dispel. It took, like, 5 in a row or something like that.
Really?
Anyway.
Well, and it got to the point, like, you would get this infection, and it would just take 1 minute, and then, boom, you're a zombie.
Yeah.
And that happened to me. Like, at one point, that happened to me, and I'm, like, running around, like, oh, God, 1 minute. I'm running around like freaking Indiana Jones on the doomed nuclear test site looking for a way out.
Looking for the fridge.
Yeah, and like I was like, crap, I can't find the healer. And so I turned into a zombie, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be cool, walk through the city, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. Okay, and then I got up to the point where, like, okay, well, here's where the NPC should be, but he's dead. Okay, which coincidentally was right next to, like, the innkeeper and the flight master and all the important NPCs. So I'm like, I'm going to wait here patiently for this guy to respawn.
No, you're going to
die. And then somebody attacked me. So I was like, explode and infect everybody.
Oh, nice.
Like, if you want to play that game.
Yep.
I can play it better than you.
Mr. Scott.
But in general, I am incredibly frustrated by the number of games that I'm trying to play at once.
I agree.
And it gets to the point to where I want to just focus in on things that I actually care about. Do you ever feel like when you're obsessed with games, you kind of want to try everything that anybody is into just to check it out? And sometimes I feel like I just want to, regardless of the fact that there are lots of great games out, I just want to focus on the things that I have particular interest in.
What are you playing? Give us the list.
Yeah.
I'm playing Fallout 3. I'm playing Saints Row 2, which I'm not that interested in. I don't know why I'm playing it so much.
Fable.
I'm playing Fable 2. I'm playing Mega Man 9 and World of Goo and Peggle Knights and World of Warcraft.
Holy crap.
You're not are you playing World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I have a friend in New York who calls me every other day, and he's like, hey, man, do you want to play some WoW? Come on, like, he started a new character with me, and so now I'm his way of justifying getting in and playing it.
Right.
Are you Alliance or Horde?
I'm Alliance.
Did he do recruit a friend on you so you get like?
No, I did it because I was writing a story, so I had to play WoW for the first time, and so I recruited him.
And
I was
you
like,
found
dude,
that
I
it
have
was
to play
good.
WoW. It's pretty fun. I will say I've only put maybe 15 hours onto it. Over
Only?
the course
Do you
of
ever-
weeks.
Do you ever feel a little bit douchey when you say like, "Oh, I have so many games to play"? Because like I feel that way sometimes. Like I say that I'll say that and I'll go, "Oh, I have so many games to play," and it's like, dude, there's a war going on. It's like
Yeah.
you can't help like
It's not
one and the other kind of thing.
I don't feel like it's a burden or anything. I just feel like I'm a really scattered person already.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that is just drowning in information flow constantly. And games have become a part of that.
That's totally true.
Games just become another one of these things that I, bunny hop between, like a schizophrenic freak.
Yeah.
On Sunday I was switching between World of Warcraft and Fable and the new Castlevania game,
Right.
and something else like Crisis Warhead, and I was just
Yeah,
flipping around.
what do you think about Warhead? I've been playing that too.
It's really fun. I mean, I feel like it has a lot less downtime than the first Crisis game. It's super. It's all composed of those really fun set piece kind of battles that the first game had. And I'm enjoying that.
Cool.
Do you enjoy playing as Psycho? Are you psycho enough? That was the tagline.
Really? I can't honestly say that I really noticed that the character is a different character, given the fact that it's a first person shooter and that it's so fucking cheesy. I mean, it's
You can make the voice a woman if you want.
Yeah, I know. But the guy voice does sound cooler.
yeah
Maximum speed.
yeah. That game is really I don't know. It's got a great workflow to it. Where you really make these split decisions on strategy and it pays off sort of on the fly. You would expect it to. You can sort of say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and make it happen. And half the time, it really does happen. You feel like a badass.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like in that game, there was like, I was like assaulting this village, and I drove in with a car.
Yeah.
And then the car got all fucked up, so I jumped out and ran into the nearest shed, and then a guy chucked a grenade in there, and the whole shed fell on top of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
So then I had to like jump my way out, and then jumped up to the roof of another building and was fighting from up there.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, you're right. The little set pieces like that where you're like, I'm going to jump up on top of this building and see if that works. And you're like, and it does. And you're like, fuck, yeah, hell
So
yeah.
so do you mean set pieces as in like Call of Duty style big,
Yeah.
big set pieces?
Except
Or do you
Call of
mean,
Duty
like-
is I think a lot more sort of structured and
Right, but
everything.
Well, no, but I mean,
this
like,
one's
architecture-wise.
this one's still structured a lot more in the sense of like
Sure.
than the first one was. But yeah, that's like you'll enter an area and there'll be like a big playground. So
Yeah.
you're within this gigantic playground, but it's like you could tell that they designed like this like 300 yard by 300 yard square.
You're putting
Right.
your hand
With the
right in
intent-
front of Ryan's
With the
face.
intent of like we're gonna throw a couple vehicles in here, a few
Right.
houses and key places.
Yeah, what I guess I mean is that in the first Crisis, you had those big moments in the game where it was all about coming up with a way to approach them and having fun with a big area full of dudes, basically.
Right.
But they were scattered between a lot more sort of conflicts with smaller groups of guys that you'd run into as you were traversing the island. This is one after the other. These big areas that you run into, and
Nice.
I don't know. It just doesn't really have nearly as much downtime. Tina is towering over us
I
in her
am.
chair right now. I feel like you're gonna give us some
A
advice.
lecture?
Yeah.
No. Well, you mentioned Call of Duty. What were you saying about Call of Duty?
You're like Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty.
It's the only game I
love
ever
shooters.
played.
That's all the segue you need. Let's
Call of
hear it.
Duty, as far as the ones that Infinity Ward goes, they're like the perfect example of like
The set
how to
piece
make a
game.
super scripted game that is still awesome.
Yeah,
I know I
that's
mentioned this in the One Up show, but it was cut out. Am I allowed to say it here? That I'm an
What?
Infinity Ward fangirl.
You don't want to say
Yeah,
that.
it's fine. You can say
Yeah.
it. I mean,
I don't want to say it.
you just did.
Does that mean that?
And it wasn't cut out because you're not allowed to say it. It was cut out because like we had a long show and we had to cut it down.
Yeah. What were you saying, Rob?
I mean, what does that mean exactly? I mean, do you have
It means that it doesn't. It means that it doesn't matter
various
what
team members.
if they put out a piece of shit, she'll still love it.
Oh,
at
really?
this point. That's what a fan person means to me.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what when I think of a Nintendo fanboy, they're like, Nintendo can do no wrong.
Wii music is way better than Rock Band, guys.
I have a friend.
Really creative.
I have a friend. And no, this friend is not me because I'm sure you're going to make this joke. But I have
we know that your friend's actually your mother.
Well, you know, I'll rule that out.
All right.
I have a friend who, he's like, hell yeah, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. It's going to be so good. I'm going to play that because he's a big DC fan.
No.
And, like, he doesn't even like fighting games. Like, he won't play Soul Calibur. And he's like, Street Fighter's lame. But, like, you're going to play this?
Yeah. So you know what? That game is bizarrely appealing to me every time I see screens of it because it's just jarring.
Yeah.
And ever since I saw the infamous Joker fatality, have you guys seen that?
They've toned it all down, though, to get a T rating.
No way.
Really?
Did they get rid of that?
I don't know. It just
what was it?
It was really awesome. It was a fatality where you're the Joker and you pull out a gun, you stick it next to the other person's temple, and he pulls the trigger, and a flag comes out that says "bang," and the other person is like noticeably relieved. They're like, "Oh, thank God!" And then he shoots like right when the other person is relieved. Then he shoots them for real, and it's hard to describe, but it's a good visual comedy thing.
It's a good Joker thing.
Yeah. It works. And I'm not even really a big comic book nerd, but there's something about. I guess actually, I have some nostalgia for back when I thought that Mortal Kombat was totally rad.
It was.
Yeah, I mean,
I really
didn't
don't
eat
think it
lunch
ever
for
was.
years.
You didn't like it enough?
And I did though, but I think I was fooled. Because it was so crazy fucking violent, that I was like, this is so awesome.
Mortal Kombat 2. I thought was one of the
Mortal Kombat
fighting
2.
games.
We all used to play on Genesis.
It doesn't hold up, but at the time, what worked with it was that it really was super visceral in a way that you take for granted from games now. Specifically, the sound. I feel like you guys remember what it was like to do an uppercut in that game, and the subwoofer would go nuts. You'd do an uppercut, and it'd be like, like it hit you in the chest. You really felt like you were doing something powerful, compared to Street Fighter, where there was a lot of strategy and it was a really balanced game. And
I didn't have a
that
subwoofer
game,
until like 2000.
I still don't have a subwoofer, but arcade cabinets certainly.
Oh, that's
nowadays.
true.
Yeah.
Are you being serious? You don't have a subwoofer right now?
No, I have old school shit.
Despite all that music you listen to and shit, like you have the most absurd CD collection.
I don't need a subwoofer to listen to Led Zeppelin, brother.
It might just give you the lower tones that you might appreciate even more.
I doubt it.
I think that's totally fair.
I don't have surround sound. I just recently I finally got a modern receiver because for about 10 years I've had this Marantz receiver from the 70s.
So wait, hold on. You got a modern receiver, but you don't have surround sound? Do you have one? Do you own any hip hop CDs?
Yeah.
That should justify you having a subwoofer right there.
What I also have is a wife. And so all of my big spending things have to be
ran by her,
very very planned out.
That's true. I forget about those.
Right now surround sound doesn't really cut it in what I want. So.
And you also said in the last podcast that she likes it quiet.
She does like it quiet, yeah. So that doesn't really. She was really hard to convince when it came to the HD TV. Now she appreciates.
I'm gonna buy you for Christmas some surround sound headphones, man. That's what we need to get you.
Yeah, those are the shit, man. I was so surprised that those actually work.
Yeah,
like I just couldn't believe it until Ryan bought some, and so I walked into his room, and his girlfriend used to go to bed really early, so he was there playing with his headphones on. I'm like, dude, let me try those out. And I think it was I think he got them. I think it was Call of Duty 4 that he was trying out with them.
Oh yeah.
And so I put them on. I played around for a little bit. I'm like, holy fuck! It sounds like something's behind me.
Yeah, it's
like
cool,
I couldn't believe
That's
it.
cool. Yeah.
Jeff and I got a free pair from Dolby. 5.1 surround sound.
Nice.
Is that a plug?
Yeah.
Don't talk about him too much because I'm pretty sure didn't that come with a letter that was like
Don't
to return
talk about
product.
And then Jeff leaves. Yay! But yeah, it's cool when we're on Ventrilo and then I had to do the special sound effects or whatever for you to make you louder, and I heard you behind me. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Cool.
I'm right behind you now, Charlene.
Just like that, yeah.
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 And little do you know that's exactly how Anthony is whenever he's on
Ryan
he bursts into song.
Ryan looks like he wants to say something.
What do you want to say,
I just
Ryan?
look like that all the time.
Oh,
Go ahead.
you're
No.
on the verge of saying something.
Say it.
It does suck though that a lot of like the games right now that I would play on my PC, some of them I end up getting for console for the sheer fact of like multiplayer, and a lot of my friends
Yeah.
don't play PC.
Like
Yeah.
Well, screw
Yeah.
that though.
Tell them they're not really your friends.
Yeah.
Unless they have
Well,
a
Left 4
PC.
Dead. Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead is one of those games, and Valve games in general. I'll always buy on PC before I'd
Yeah.
ever buy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got
Totally.
the orange box back when I did because I didn't have a good PC for console, but and I still think it's a great deal. But there's no substitute for playing Team Fortress on a
No.
PC as compared to the console one.
No,
It's like
never.
not even comparable.
Totally agree.
So,
Yeah.
but
And
I mean,
Left 4 Dead is gonna be really good on the 360.
I have no doubt. That's
But-
why I'm going to buy it for both.
Right, but I think like I'm definitely going to want to play it on PC,
Ooh.
especially
Really?
because I want to have my rig here in the next week or so,
Right.
next week or two at least.
Yeah.
I
So-
want to like I'm going to be gone for Thanksgiving week, but like,
Oh God, my parents
The-
don't have internet either.
the-
Like high
oh.
speed, I won't be able to play. Like,
but the rest of the holidays are coming up though, and I got to have my PC for that.
Do you
long-
guys
nice
all
long
go
period.
home for Thanksgiving?
I don't have
Yeah.
a wife, so
So yes,
I guess everyone here lives in California or is from California.
right. Yeah, it's like
We
3
were
hours
able
for
to
me.
get- Yeah.
no, my mom's in Idaho,
Wow. And
my
you go
other-
back for
and
Christmas
my other
too?
mom's in Alaska. No, I'm only going to Idaho for Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, okay.
I'm the
I'm
only
staying
one of
here
my
for
siblings
Christmas.
who goes home for Thanksgiving.
I fucking hate
so-
winter.
You're,
You're
the
the-
good,
you're the good one.
sibling.
No, it's not that. It's that
You're
my,
the good one.
it's that both my brother and sister are vegan, and my brother lives in Oregon, or now in Washington, so it's much more of an ordeal for him. My sister, she lives like in Oakland, where I live, but she goes and feeds turkeys on Thanksgiving, actually.
Aw.
So that's what she does. She
Oh
goes,
man, that's
goes-
just pissing in the wind.
She goes.
I mean, I'm a vegetarian, but come on.
Yeah.
No, my sister just likes to go to Farm Sanctuary. I mean, she also donates to them all the time.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wow, that's cool.
So
I can't wait to go home and bring my games back. My parents always get a kick out of that.
Really?
Mom always gets upset. She's like, "What are you playing?" Like when
my dad loves it.
All right,
The
Kenny,
le-
you can't
What
wait till you can show your parents Diablo 3, huh?
Oh hell yeah, my dad's gonna be surprised. But
What,
when
what do you bring with you? Do you bring like a whole console with you? Or
Mhm.
what? Yeah.
and my parents have cable internet, so it's all good. But
My parents don't.
when I wrote the Left 4 Dead preview, I sent it to my mom. Like, look, Mom, I'm on the internet. And
She's like writing about zombies.
she's like, "Zombies, Tina, what are you doing?" And yeah,
Oh no.
she was concerned.
See, I see my yearly pilgrimage back to Texas as an opportunity to detox from games.
Right. It's just,
I don't watch TV. I don't do any. I hang out with my family. I read some books.
It's
And
I
basically
take
what I do.
take
Yeah.
games home, but a lot of times I don't even end up playing anything besides maybe a little bit of DS or PSP. Beyond that, anytime I go home, it's usually like for a holiday, which means like some person that I'm interested in reconnecting with from like my earlier life is there, so I end up hanging out with them
yeah.
as opposed to just like
I'll take a portable with me for the plane ride, but that's about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, this would be a good time to use my laptop, my Mac, and finally play Spore. Yay.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, don't count on it occupying more than a couple hours of your time.
Yeah?
Unless you're like me though, and you really get into the editors, which I totally did.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Matt sat there, and
You
I
mean
mean the
the
cool thing
buildings
was
and
like
Fucking loved it.
was like a lot of people just blow right through it, but with Matt, the reason his took forever and was cool was because he very much understood the theme of his race. Like it was like Matt was creating a race for like an RTS or something like that. Like
Yeah.
all his
Really?
buildings looked like they belonged to his race. All his ships looked like they belonged to his race.
Maybe at some point they'll come up with some sort of game you can play with those. That'd be cool.
It was
I'm sure they'll do it.
But for me, like they announced an expansion and everything recently. So
Yeah.
like,
But isn't it just like googly eyes that you
It's
can?
like
add?
it's like more creature parts and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have it here in the building right now. So
Yeah.
But I think that's just clearly that's just the start. This is like their platform for the next couple of years, I'm sure.
until Sims 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever it would get to a part where it would open up another editor, and it's like, okay, you're in the whatever age now, and or like you're in the civilization stage, build your vehicles, and I'm all, fuck yeah, I'll build my vehicles. I'm gonna build my town hall, and I'm gonna build my military version and my peace version and or religious version,
Wow.
I mean, and everything.
Wow.
So it's like I think if you like, I don't know, it pulled it really. It strummed that creative chord or whatever in my body that's always made me want to be a 3D guy. My degree is in 3D animation, so
Yeah.
like maybe that's where it comes from, is because like all these tools are so much simpler to create cool shit out of than like Maya.
Yeah.
Matt's desire to engineer buildings and stuff. I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking to myself, when the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm kidnapping this guy from my colony. I'm just going to arrive at Matt's house and be like, what's going on? And he won't even heard the news yet. I'm just going to bag his head and be like, shut up, get in my car. And then I'm going to drive to the first hospital I see. You doctor? In the car.
Then you drive to, you know, a nice part of the neighborhood and find yourself wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Set up.
New chef love.
Yeah.
Yay.
My compound.
Have you, since you're into the making stuff, have you played any Little Big Planet?
I played the beta like crazy.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Did you make stuff?
I did. I made stuff. In fact, the first thing that I made in Little Big Planet was like I tried to make an escort mission.
Yeah.
Which like kind of throws a lot of people on their asses because they hate escort missions.
There are a few in the game in the single.
That's what people have told me.
Yeah.
I just got
they're
the
actually
retail
pretty fun.
today.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you buy it?
Who, me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to. I just haven't yet.
Yeah. I actually played through all the
I actually
levels
I
already.
bought Oblivion for the PC way back in the day, even though I didn't have a PC that could run it, and that was the last time I thought I was going to upgrade my PC was when Oblivion came out, and I never actually did it. But I still have my shrink-wrapped, sealed, boxed copy of Oblivion because I wanted the Elder Scrolls construction set. Because I played around with the Elder Scrolls construction set when Morrowind came out for the PC, and like I built little mods and stuff like that, but I never quite got, you know, my grand vision out the door.
Is that how people make all those videos you always see online of like the crazy Rube Goldberg things where it's like books stacking over into books, like launching people through the air and stuff like that?
The Elder Scrolls construction sets are fucking awesome. They're so, because I also picked up Neverwinter Nights, the first one, because I thought the construction set was going to be all super easy to use and everything, and it turned out to be fucking arcane as hell. And I remembered getting the strategy guide for it because it was supposed to have. It was basically the only documentation you could find right when the game came out for how to use the construction set. And literally in the strategy guide or whatever, it said, so the Neverwinter Nights language that you use to, you know, do custom things for your modules will be familiar to anyone who's familiar with C. I'm like, oh great. That's a good start. And so anybody who can already do a programming language can do stuff for Neverwinter Nights. And like some of its other directions were like, if you want to figure out how to do something, find something similar in the single player game and then take that script and put it in yours. And I'm like, really? So I have to play through the single-player game and take notes on when an NPC does something that I want them to do, and then I have to go through through the archive of everything that's in the game and try to find that script that references it. And you're not even going to tell me how to. So anyway, like construction sets.
Damn, you lost me.
No,
Can you kill stuff?
All I'm thinking
That's all I care about.
is Matt needs to quit this job and go work for development studios. Are you thinking about making a scripting program where you can make shit? Let me tell you why you're just stupid.
No, that's awesome.
So, but like clearly people get it because Neverwinter Nights had one of the biggest mod communities for any RPG ever. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe I'm just stupid when it comes to this.
I don't know.
But the Elder Scrolls one was so easy. Like, I got it right away and was making stuff right away. But maybe it's not as feature-rich.
I was going to say, I mean, I just think if you give people the option to do it, there will always be the people out there that will sit there and put way too many hours of time into it and take advantage of it.
I'm not going to do it for Far Cry, though.
One of EGM's old editors, Joe Fielder, he got his job, his current job with EA.
Hey, sorry.
Through, he like designed levels in Neverwinter Nights and used that as part of his like application.
Wow.
That's because like BioWare had it on their site that they were offering a job for a game designer, and the big prerequisite was build a Neverwinter Nights module and then send it to them, and that's how you got your interview.
Was that for the thing that he wound up getting, or was that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Joe Fielder went on to work on like Medal of Honor or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meh.
I'm not actually looking. Looking to go into development. Like if I ever made, I think like this is something that was new to me like a couple years ago. Was that like if I ever decided to make a game, it would be my own game. I don't really want to go work for somebody, but I actually really like being in games media.
What were you saying, Anthony?
I was going to say this podcast goes up on Thursday, right? Tomorrow.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, all right. That's cool. Then I'll talk about it. I just realized that I had also checked out another PC game recently. It's not really that crazy, but it's GTA 4 for PC.
Yay.
Awesome.
The
That
GTA
sounds so exciting.
Well, no, but it does have some really cool features, man. Like the ability to use a controller and a keyboard mouse at the same time, which sounds like a stupid thing, but a lot of games don't allow you to do that.
Really?
Like,
I didn't
Why
know
would
that.
you want to?
So I did see.
Driving.
So like driving feels a lot better, in my opinion, on a controller. And then like the second you get out, you can instantly move to the mouse and keyboard. And like with the mouse and keyboard, you can still do like the type of headshots you'd expect with the mouse.
Cool.
But then again, anytime you can switch. So they're both running at the same time, which is like most games make you choose one or the other. And
Actually, I didn't know that. I guess because I don't play many.
I
controllers
actually think that Gears of War for
PC.
Windows might have been the first game that did that. And
that makes a lot of sense.
And it also has like a slider now for traffic. So if you have a computer that can handle it, you can make like the city look like an actual city with like obscene amounts of traffic everywhere and stuff like that.
Nice.
Whoa, shit.
And but the coolest thing by far is the video editor that they're adding, because it was like it's like a poor man's Final Cut, like the way it works. Like you at any time you can hit like a F6 or something, and it records like the last 30 to 60 seconds of gameplay, and then you can actually pull the camera out from your character, because since it's all rendered, you can actually literally move the camera anywhere, position it behind whatever character's on screen, add all these crazy filters, slow it up, speed it up.
Right.
Like it's like it actually.
I used to love that about the original Driver. Did you guys, anybody ever play that?
No,
No,
I never
that
did.
had a video.
It had a video cut, like the same thing basically. You could go back and edit together your own little car chase thing, and it was pretty intense for PlayStation.
Well, I watched Scooter do it, and like even in just 5 minutes of him dicking around, not knowing what he was doing, he made like an awesome clip of him riding a motorcycle, headshotting this dude, and then hitting his motorcycle into the car and then getting run over. and then he layered it all to this like crazy Russian music, because you can use all the music from the game and stuff
sweet.
like that.
They should just have auto export to YouTube.
Well, so it's funny that you say it, because you can export it in three things. You can export it in 720p, 480i, and then you can export it in the file that's made for web.
Huh.
And
Wow, nice.
and then instantly through the PC thing, you can upload it to Rockstar Social Club, their website. And then like so when you enter the main menu of GTA 4, it's like play game, multiplayer on one side, and then on the other side is a constantly updating social club page.
Crazy.
So then there will be like top videos of today, and you can like they're user voted on. So people that make
Nice.
videos can vote them up, and you can check out the videos that people make and that sort of thing. It seems like, I mean, for someone like me who already has it on 360, I don't know that it's enough to make me go out and buy it a second time.
Right.
But I mean, for like people that haven't gotten it yet, that's like pretty cool, especially because they said, like when San Andreas was out and stuff, people were already making like a machina of like it just using like, capture stuff and moving shit in the right way. But this like they think will actually make people actually make some really cool videos.
Really cool compilations of people falling from buildings
I'm sure a lot of it'll be stupid, but they even showed like
with some crazy metal that's like.
It's funny you say this though, because they did show a couple of example videos, and one like where it was almost like there was the capability to tell like a narrative if you wanted, by scripting things with the right angles and like slow motions at the right times, and with the right music, it still got across something like a movie trailer would or something like that, even though it was just GTA.
I'm a fan of machinima. I
Yeah.
think that could be cool.
So yeah, I think it'll be cool to see what people do. I mean, no doubt you're going to see all these videos springing up on YouTube once that happens.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
I don't know.
Nice, dude.
I mean, it's like the most effort I've seen.
So are they doing the zombie thing in the PC version?
I don't
That's
know.
what I
So
was
isn't
gonna
that
ask.
zombie thing? It's just a rumor at this point, right?
No,
Is
it
it?
actually happened on Xbox Live, I think.
No, it didn't.
Stuff, didn't it?
No way. I'd be playing it right now.
Was it a rumor?
Yeah, it's just for now. They think that might be what the 360 exclusive content might be.
Oh, lame.
But
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone mod GTA 4 to have all that
Sure.
sort of stuff, just like they modded San Andreas to have multiplayer and stuff.
That's true.
So I mean, I think that it's cool because a lot of companies like a lot of Capcom games I've seen get ported to PC are just like terrible ports that it's just like not even like a menu system or that sort of thing. And then like you can tell like the guys at Rockstar, I mean, they didn't just like assign it to a B team to just do a crappy cash in.
Oh,
They
I
actually
played
put some time into it.
Yeah, for some reason I back when I worked for one of our competitors, for some reason I ended up playing Vice City on the PS2, the Xbox One, and on PC. And the PC version,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
and
a lot of time.
yeah, the PC version was totally my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it felt right, and it felt like it wasn't just a console port.
Yeah, and it's going to be available on Steam. So.
I can sort of see
nice.
the direction things are headed to. All these games being released on console and then being released on PC, sort of as the Criterion collection of the game.
That's a good way to put it.
It's the final super nice version.
Yeah.
If you've got the money to run it.
Right, I was going to say,
Yeah.
I mean, GTA 4 also runs at a higher resolution and
Sure.
like better frame rate if you have the rig to run it.
And I'm
if
sure
you
higher
got that
quality
fancy
textures.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Nice.
means
Is anyone playing Fallout?
I will be
I will be as well, but
once my new rig is together.
people always think we don't have to buy games, but we do. And right
Yeah.
now I'm like budgeting my money to Little Big Planet and Gears next week, and I'm also considering buying Resistance. So
See, I wasn't
Really?
gonna do
Really?
Resistance because Resistance has always felt to me like an also ran, and it's just not. Yeah, but David Ellis was telling me that the co-op is fully awesome.
yeah, and I liked the first Resistance well enough. So
I didn't.
I couldn't make myself play through that, and it was the
No.
only game that I cared about on
It
the
made me
PS3.
angry.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Warhawk too, as far as early PS3 games went.
That wasn't
Early-ish.
that early.
Early-ish.
Yeah.
That one.
So
I don't know. Every time I turn on my PS3, I like dust it up. I'm like, all right, I have an itch to finally, use you. Turn it on. It's like, update, whatever, 2.5. I'm like, okay, screw this.
For 40 minutes.
Download it, yeah.
and then install the game that you
Install.
want to play.
Yeah, and then by that time, I'm like, oh, screw this. I'm going to like...
So
That's
what
funny,
is it? What is
every
it
time I
about
turn? Sorry, I was just gonna say every time I turn on my PS3, it's like time to watch some Wire.
Yeah.
So what is it about installing games on PCs that's acceptable, but not installing them on a PS3? Is it
I don't mind
feel
the,
that
I don't
That's
mind
the way it's always
installation.
been.
Well, that and I
Yeah.
think when I'm on a PC, I can hit Alt-Tab and I can still do bullshit in the background while it's
Yeah, you
installing.
can like surf the internet.
In fact, you multitask.
I don't mind the installation on PS3. I mind the updates and the frequency and the annoyance of them. I was like the other night I was trying to show my friend Little Big Planet, and suddenly there was this mandatory update, and the update was taking forever to download. And it's like the game was working. The game was
Right.
working the day before. There was nothing broken about it. But now you're gonna make me update it, make me not be able to play it. For
Yeah, I mean,
half
that
a
is the
day.
nice thing. Whenever they do updates on Xbox Live, it's like, do you want to update? And it takes like 2 seconds.
Well,
always
it's
super
because
fast.
like on the Xbox, it's a patch, and what I've been told, I can't confirm this because I don't know the technicalities of it, but what I've been told is that the PS3, you're actually downloading the whole operating system again and installing it. You're not just downloading a tiny patch.
Oh, that's for the system update. But I'm talking about these game updates.
Oh.
The game updates are so irritating. to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just if you're going to show something to somebody, just make sure you unplug your PS3 from the wall.
yeah, just take out the
Just
Ethernet
take out
cord.
the Ethernet cord.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. We ended up not even playing it because I was like, oh, fuck this. Yeah.
It's like, update now, bitch.
Yeah.
So we've been playing another game that we're going to review soon.
Another zombie game.
Well, it has zombies in it. Call of Duty World at War.
Germans aren't zombies.
They have a...
They are now.
They have a... What am I allowed to say, Ryan?
Wolfenstein disagrees.
They've announced that there's a zombie
the
mode.
Nazi zombies.
Yeah, that's public knowledge that it
No.
exists.
It's fun.
I just
fun.
cannot even imagine.
So out of place, though.
I cannot even imagine how you get zombies into a World War II shooter.
Well, they're not like in the actual like,
It's not
campaign.
the actual...
It's just
yeah,
a bonus multiplayer mode where you're like in a building and you're trying to hold off zombies for as long as you can with friends. That's it.
It just crosses the bounds of taste.
Well,
It's
it is.
gonna-
It is
It's
kind of like
yes, I know that we're used to playing World War II games, but yes, millions of people died.
yeah, right. And this one also got rid of the war quotes as well. There are no war quotes when you die before you respawn. Just you die.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
that's
they
right.
couldn't coexist with the zombie mode. It just didn't seem right.
This game also ups like the violence, which I guess you could say is also like Call of Duty 2 acknowledged that there was a lot of horrible things that happened, but when you shot guys, it was like ketchup packets were exploding under them, and there was like no actual blood. This one, it's like blood pools on the ground.
It's like Tina friendly.
People are getting stabbed in the throat.
It is.
Last night, I saw someone throw a grenade at a truck where guys were getting out, and one guy got blown
Legs
up.
fell off.
His legs got blown off at the knee, and his two little bony, bloody stumps were sticking, and he was like reaching to try and grab them
Holy
before he died.
Quentin Tarantino.
No, yeah,
Call
it's-
of Duty.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! It
Violence.
is so good that most of the people who are in our armed forces during that conflict are dead and
No
can't
kidding.
know that this happened.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like, and I was watching my roommate take a stab at it, and he like had a shotgun and shot some dude's face, and it was just like I saw a chunk with a stream of blood just go across the room, and I was like, I cannot believe that just happened. I felt like an old ass man for a second. I was like, rated R. My child will not play this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it should be a mature
Tina's
game,
like,
which it is.
it's sort of tame.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. Like, I
She's
stabbed
been
the guy in
playing
the
Fallout.
neck.
Call of Duty. She wants to see a headshot result in a slow motion launch of someone's head
Tina
over 20
Tina
yards.
wants RoboCop.
Call of Duty
What?
1 and 2 were
Yes.
teen, and
Yeah.
four. I think 3 might have been teen still. I'm not sure.
I don't
And then
remember.
4 was definitely mature with executions and all the
Team's
swearing.
like, if
Or
it's
this
not
one, this one's
AO,
like,
I'm not
this is
playing
like
it.
a hard. This is like a hard M.
Dude.
Yeah, hard
Yeah.
they should start that rating. Hard M.
I'm saying that this if they had just done like maybe thrown in something sexual at one point, it would have pushed onto the AO
AO.
rate. I bet.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
you could add
that's a-
something sexual to Wii Music and it.
Yeah, AO.
I'm just saying
I mean,
that like
yeah.
Brothers in Arms did that like slow motion thing where you would headshot a dude and stuff. But imagine like like a troop carrying transport. It parks, everyone tries to jump out, and they all jump out
Body
at once
parts.
onto a grenade. And then it just looks like a little meat salad. Like that's what it looked like. I was like, I cannot believe I'm seeing that.
I wish it had a T rating for Tina, because that's what I approve of this violence. But yeah, it'll be fun to play on PC, don't you think? The multiplayer. Well, from the beta's out, so. I
yeah,
mean,
but from what we played on the, I don't know. I still can't see myself at this point
Really?
going away from Call of Duty 4.
well, that is
I don't
true.
really know that I wanna
is
go
true,
back to,
but
like,
Would you play the campaign?
Wait,
no?
this is made by the other folks, right?
Treyarch.
Trey-
The
Arc.
people who made the Dreamcast version of Tony Hawk 2.
And they also made
It's made
Call of
by
Duty 3.
not Infinity Ward.
Call of
Yes.
Duty 3. Yeah, but I thought the tanks were really balanced when you were playing multiplayer.
Yeah, I haven't spent that much time with the multiplayer beta, to be fair. All I know is that the single player is violent as hell, and you kill Japanese people. Like sometimes you use flamethrowers because that was before we thought that those were cruel and inhumane. And you torch them, and they're just like writhing on the ground.
Oh, you saw it.
Screaming for their
Weren't
life.
you watching me do that before the podcast? Like some guy was coming at me,
I don't want to do
torched him, and then he was like rolling on the ground, and I just stood above him
Tina's
and torched
laughing.
him some more. I'm just like,
Wow.
yeah.
Have you ever?
that. They should just add Peggle in the load screen so you can have a little palate cleanser after you feel
Dude,
so dirty.
Some
and
guy
gross.
tried to stab Tina in the stomach, and she grabbed his gun, shoved the bayonet to the
Bayonet.
side, and pulled out her own knife and shoved it in the side of his throat.
And I was doing that. I was
he
like,
was like
"Watch, guys,
choking for a
watch."
second.
Tina, have you ever seen The Toxic Avenger?
I've heard of that cartoon, and I
No,
briefly
not
saw
the
it.
cartoon.
There was a cartoon when I was like
I think
3.
you're thinking
Yeah,
of the
that's-
Toxic Crusader.
Yeah, The
No,
Toxic
the
Avenger.
Avenger, he looked ugly as hell,
Toxic
right?
Crusaders is the cartoon.
Yeah.
Toxic
Yeah.
Crusaders is a
okay.
cartoon.
You would
I
like
even remember
Toxic
the theme
Avenger.
song.
Yeah.
Remember the
Should I be in
Toxic
for Halloween?
Crusaders.
No, you should watch that movie though. You like that? You want blood and all that? You'll love that movie.
All right, I'll go back to that.
You will, and you should. Have you seen Grindhouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. In some ways, I
you've seen
think that
Faces of Death.
that game like
No.
is like people won't take a lesson away from it, but for me, like when I was seeing flamethrowers used in that game, I was like, this is exactly why we made those like an illegal weapon of warfare.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you'd see like there's a guy in that tree
In that
trying to
palm
snipe
tree,
us.
that's,
So she's just like
Flame him out. Can
Yeah. And then the
Oh.
tree catches fire and
you
he
imagine the
falls off.
smell?
yeah.
Oh,
I'd rather
I
not.
can't.
Yeah.
No, it's
gross.
weird though. Like video game violence, totally maybe because it's still fake enough, doesn't like really phase me all that much. But like movie violence, like when you're not like Grindhouse stuff, which is kind of tongue in cheek, but
Right.
like horror movie stuff, like I've still never been able to do it. Like I couldn't watch Saw or anything.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Saw and all those are
No.
torture
Saw
porn.
is-
No.
But
Those are good movies. They're just.
they're not good movies. Let's shut up first of all.
Well, that,
There was a moment around the turn of the generations with the consoles that violence was disturbing to me in games for the first time. But then I tuned into what made things low fidelity again, and it was Condemned. I was playing Condemned on the Xbox. I remember with a friend, and we were going around, and that game is just brutally punching people in the face.
Yeah.
Right.
And, hitting them with
2x4s and
stuff.
bars. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember playing that game and being like, oh my god, I don't know if I can play this. But we just kept on playing it and then started noticing the way that people popped out at you and the sort of repetitive animations and stuff and tuning into the fakeness of it until the point that it became kind of funny. Yeah. you get used to it and then it becomes funny.
Right. And still playing Call of Duty, like, you know, no matter what, if I could play that still, and, you know, like I said, when I saw that drive-by, it still scared the shit out of me. I can't imagine games ever making me feel like I don't care about real-life violence, because honestly, like, even that Call of Duty 5 meat salad was nothing compared to, like, a real-life meat salad.
I frequently wonder, you know, what the outcome of games having, like, a better representation of reality all the time will be, because you won't be able to have these kinds of games if they really do look real. People won't be able to play them, and
I don't know. I think you will. I think people will always be able to separate the fantasy of it from the reality of it. And I mean, like, it's the reason why I think a lot of the whole, you know, violent games creating violent kids is a bullshit argument is just because youth violence has continued to go down.
Yeah, sure.
Over like the last.
And I'm not saying
years,
the danger is that you're going to create a bunch of killers.
No,
I'm saying the danger is that you create something that no one wants to play because it makes you feel like shit.
Right.
Like, you don't actually want to walk up to somebody on the street in a super realistic Grand Theft Auto and pull out your gun and have them say, "No, God, please don't shoot me," and like shoot them and them, you know, crumple on the ground and you know, see that in real life. You don't want to see that. Yeah. You don't want to play that game. You want to have them like flying off your hood, like they're made out of rubber
or like you know, look at like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
you know, you could have shot any of those battle scenes like incredibly violent and visceral kind of stuff, but they're shot in sort of this romantic style where, you know, they're chopping up the enemies. You're like, yeah, you know, good versus evil or whatever, but you're not seeing anybody like with their guts ripped out or anything like that. Yeah. So I mean, there's so it's like,
yeah, I guess it'll be
when we go past that uncanny valley, people will find ways around that
to sort of mask it and not make it so.
Yeah.
Robert, did we want to hit up on your homework?
Yeah, it's a quiz for those of you who didn't read the story.
I'm screwed.
Who did or didn't?
Is it on Call of Duty?
Didn't. No, it's not on Call of Duty.
Oh, damn.
It was something that we picked up off the boards, actually. It was a Gama Sutra
article called "Opinion: Are critics gamers?" ? I think not.
And the guy who wrote it
is according to the byline, industry veteran Keith Boesky. I apologize, Mr. Keith. I'm going to make your last name. Boesky, maybe?
No.
A long-standing gay agent and attorney, as well as former IDOS president.
But it was basically a story. It was a guy sort of writing a story about why he feels game critics are off the mark with what normal gamers play, according to
the former president of a game publisher.
What's a normal game?
He basically went through and picked out a few games from this season that Metacritic has, you know, low ratings for, like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, but that have sold really well. Mm-hmm. And
so that's kind of evidence for game critics being out of touch with consumers,
which is funny. I mean, the premise itself is totally messed up, because I remember just recently a story getting forwarded around back when Shu was here about how game critics were the most in line with what was actually selling compared to TV and movies and all these other critics.
Well, a really big problem with this article is that he says that, as well as saying the other thing. So it's like I'm not really sure what he was trying to get at. He tried to clarify it a little bit later in the comments section, you know, when people were making all the comments, and he replied to a bunch of people. And his reply made it sound like he was trying to say something in the article that he didn't say at all. And the article itself is just rife with weird contradictions and weird turns of phrase that don't seem to make any sense. And it's like, it seems like something that somebody banged out late at night after, you know, maybe
but we should give him
fits of Hennessy.
We should give him, you know, a fair trial by saying what he was saying. He was basically arguing that game critics come from an older generation who didn't grow up with interactive stuff completely. You know, they didn't live in an interactive world. They still watched movies sometimes and played games other times, and so they weren't as accustomed to games that blended the two together and felt impatient with extended cutscenes and anything that tried to get them emotionally, which I thought was really funny, because one of the things that he points out was that that the best rated games on Metacritic were these super arcadey, non-emotional games that you can get on Xbox Live Arcade, like Braid.
Yeah, he says the higher echelon of charts is dominated by XBLA games including Braid, Bionic Commando, Geometry Wars, Castle Crashers, Duke Nukem, and Mega Man. The common underlying factors are fun, superficial gameplay, and no emotional engagement.
Yeah,
and
he's saying this about Braid.
Yeah. And immediately, of course, the comment section went berserk about like, how can you say this about Braid? And like, I don't think he ever necessarily responded to that effectively. He did say that, I apologize for the mischaracterization of the narrative of Braid, which is every bit as engaging and tear-inducing as Eco, if not more. The better point
tear-inducing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The better point would have been the lack of a steep learning curve. The game is more accessible than the lower-rated games. My point is Braid is much more old school than the current crop price of full next-gen games. Only I stated it poorly. And it's like, I think that backpedals a little bit, but in a different direction.
Yeah.
So wait, what is his overall message? I mean, like you say, he brings up Force Unleashed.
Right. That's just it. Is his
the only reason that game
message
sold well is because it had a marketing money machine behind it.
It's sold well because it's called Star Wars. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So listen to this. 'Cause this is why I don't understand this article and why it doesn't make sense to me and why I don't understand why it was promoted in the first place. Is because he says, where is it? There seems to be a growing divide between what critics are looking for and what the game business is building. And then many paragraphs later, he says, "Pop, quote unquote, in all media is easily accessible. It garners huge audiences because it entertains and does not challenge. Our critics, unlike the rest, seem to be embracing the quick fix, pick up and play pop games and rejecting the game equivalents of the latest Pynchon novel." And so which is weird to me because
Force Unleashed is the game equivalent of